pjnet.tv at 9:30 on the East Coast Tuesday night. And on Tuesday nights, not all of them, but most of them, half of them, Dell Didway comes our way to share what's going on in his life and how God is doing amazing things in his life and around the world. He's standing by. Our bumper is running. We are streaming. We are recording. We are counting it down to Studio 19, starting now. Well, good evening and welcome back. This is pjnet.tv. That is Dell. See right there? Dell Didway. He drew that himself. He's kind of an artist. He didn't tell people that very often. But he slipped and told me. I'm impressed. And it's a great pleasure to have Dell come visit with us and share what all's going on. And Dell, I actually announced, I saw a post less than 2 or 3 hours ago that you were in San Antonio. And I just thought, you know what? And you had your wife with you, apparently. And I thought, Dell's not going to be here tonight. Anyway, but here you are, and I'm looking at, that background just doesn't look like the Marriott or that looks like your office.
Yeah, it is. We stayed at the, oh my gosh, I know where we stayed.
This is live, people.
It's a Canopy by Hilton. It was really, of course, I'm a Hilton Honors member, so I prefer those places. And the Canopy Hilton on the Riverwalk was really a place to go. It was a unique hotel. It was so cozy and great location.
First time in San Antonio?
The first time to stay and visit. I've been there. I was there to attend the Final Four a few years ago, but I didn't have time to do anything except go to Denny's across the street.
I was going to say, I know you had time to eat.
So that was about it. So this, Angie never really always wanted to go there. So we thought, let's just go. Our schedule's going to get crazy here in a few months, or it already is crazy, but she wanted to go to Cornerstone Church. That was one of her bucket list things. To go to John Hagee's church. And, of course, he wasn't there. But we got to hear his son preach and sit with his wife on the front row, which is kind of cool. So, great church. San Antonio is a great city. Clean city. Not as dumpy and crappy as some of your other major cities, because it's pretty conservative state, so things are different.
Well, and the Riverwalk, I know it's the thing to do in San Antonio, but honestly, it's a nice thing. But I didn't see it as the eighth wonder of the world or anything.
But it's very, very relaxing. That's why we got there on a Friday afternoon. And we came back Monday morning. So so it was just a couple of days just to get away, and we enjoyed it. And great atmosphere, fun, festive atmosphere, great food, and so some shopping. And of course, we went to I think I was telling you off there. Went to the Alamo. There's my mug, the Alamo. So great tour there. So it's just a fun city. A good city for a long weekend.
So this was purely just pleasure. You weren't there concurrent with any other business, just you and your wife. Well, that's wonderful, Dell.
We shut off social media. That's why I'm posting things now. We said, hey, let's don't do any social media where we're going, and we didn't. We didn't do Twitter. We didn't do Facebook. We didn't do anything. So that was nice. We just shut everything down and just enjoyed our time there in the heat. It was hot, but it was okay. It wasn't unbearable. It was like 102, but there was no humidity, so it wasn't that bad.
Well, I've been to San Antonio once, and I was there on business, but of course we combined. I took my wife, so it was pleasure as well. But it was purely coincidental because the timing was up to the people that invited me there for business. But it turned out when we visited the Alamo, to our surprise, they were doing the live reenactment, because it was the anniversary of the event. But I think, would it not have been for that, the Alamo would have been just sort of a tour of an old place, historic of significance. It's not one of these majestic architectural achievements. It's just an bunch of show. It's
No, it's a place of defeat, obviously, but obviously one of the greatest stories ever, ever because of bravery and holding Santayana's army off for several days while they could, regroup and then take it back. So,
Santayana actually believed that he was Napoleon reincarnated.
yeah,
Do you know that?
yeah, I did know that. Yeah, it was talked about. So,
I mean, he was good, but he wasn't that good. Hey.
no, not good. So, but yeah, that's a great story. Great movies out of there. Obviously, great stories of bravery and courage that we don't see anybody having today. So,
Well, if you want to go down that trail, I was just delighted to hear the mainstream media news report that young man that took care of business up there in Indiana.
yeah, it's great. I mean, it's not great that he had to.
Yeah, but
Right. It's good, fortunate. We're blessed that we can have people like that. And I
Dell,
hope
do you
that
remember when you were
steps up.
20 years old? Can you picture yourself in that situation at 20 years old? 20, how old was he?
No,
24? He
yeah,
done.
no. I mean, I don't know what I've done. I didn't start carrying a gun until several years ago, but I wasn't carrying a gun at that age. So no, but hats off to him, and we need to thank this person and not, we thank this person, which is great, and we hold this person up as a hero, which he is. But Kyle Rittenhouse also did the same thing,
Hmm.
and he was on trial for murder. So it
Hmm.
just depends on where it happens.
Yeah.
Indiana's a pretty good gun conservative state most of the time. They have their issues, but up in you know Wisconsin and that area, no.
Yeah, you
You
never
don't do
know where
that
you're
stuff.
at once you get in that area up there. At least here you can go state to state. It doesn't matter too much.
Yeah,
Georgia, Alabama,
yeah,
Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas.
yeah.
It's the
So
scenery changes, but not
we
the
we
ideology.
we got in a lift one day, and most of the folks in the lifts are pretty good folks. They're just hardworking people, want to make a dime. And I was encouraged by this. He was I'm going to guess in his mid 30s, maybe young, maybe 30-ish. Um, looked like uh, looked like a typical young kid. I mean, he had a kind of a mullet. He had
Yeah.
a bunch of tattoos, which I don't care. He was very nice, and we just said, where are you from? And he said originally from Buffalo, and I thought, okay, it's a pretty liberal city at times, but it's a blue collar city. And the more we talked, we said, well, what brought you to Texas? He goes, I want freedom, man. He goes, I got sick and tired of living under liberals
Under.
and their lockdowns. And he said he got married and his wife was from Canada. And he said they couldn't see each other for a year because she was in Canada and they were locked down. And he says, I'm in Buffalo. I'm right across the street from Canada. And he's like, we couldn't see each other for a year because of Trudeau's policies in New
Uh-huh.
York. And he's like, we came here to be free, And he's like, this liberalism stuff's terrible, and we love our freedom. And so I was like, I told him, so I'm encouraged by you telling me this stuff because you're that age where, you haven't lost your mind yet.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the young kids are being spoon fed all
Hmm.
this stuff and poisoned. So he's like, nah, man, it was
Well, at least he was aware. I mean, when you were in Los Angeles covering the Super Bowl, you
that's
ran into
terrible.
what the mayor or somebody.
He works for the mayor, and I got to talk to him and tell him what a corrupt person he's working for. It was awesome.
He
That
didn't
was
even
worth
he didn't know what you're talking about.
that was worth the trip. No, he knew. So he knew. And but hey, something exciting coming up, and this I guess I can plug this. I guess the serious writer is going to Italy for a
I
conference.
saw that. I
Yeah,
saw that.
we got her signed. We got signed up today. So Angie and I are going, and we'll be helping out there and doing some teaching there, and but it'll be fun. Folks haven't thought. Thinking about it, you better do it because I was talking to Kyle today, and the rooms are going pretty quickly. It's got a good
Really?
response on it. Yeah.
Have you been
So
to Italy before, Dale?
nope, nope, nope.
I
We're going.
have. I
No,
have.
we haven't. Well, I haven't been out. The only place I've ever been out of the country is Canada, and I guess you can
Oh.
count Puerto Rico, and that's about it.
Well, Puerto Rico's a
Yeah,
territory.
I know,
Yeah,
but still,
yeah. A local stamp will get mail, first class mail between here and there.
yeah, I know.
Just to.
So, I mean, as far as flying, what it seems like, but
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so yeah, we're excited about that. Again, I was talking to Kyle today and Bethany all weekend, and
Mm-hmm.
Bethany and her husband and kids are going, and Kyle and his wife
Mm-hmm.
and kids are going, and a few others from the Serious Rider team will be there, and
Do
be
you know
fun.
what part of Italy you're going to yet?
It's near Florence area, right in the middle,
Uh huh.
and this is going to be a cool conference. It's going to be like one day there'll be a conference sessions. The next day there'll be tours.
Uh
We'll
huh.
go. We'll be going on these guided tours. The next day will be a
Okay.
conference
Okay.
and a tour, and there'll be some pasta making and things like that in the mix. So it'll be
And
a fun.
wine drinking if you're going to be in Italy.
I'm
I'm
not
pretty sure.
sure, but you know, I don't know. I'll be loading up with coffee,
Uh,
but so yeah, folks, jump on, find that link and get on it. You got to put down a little deposit to
yeah.
save your room,
Well,
but
you
jump on
might.
it.
I don't know how long they're going to do it, but the big expense, of course, is getting over there and getting back. So whether you stay 1 day or 5 or 7 or 9, it's
There
not
are
going
some
to.
deals out there. I got a really good rate with Air Canada today, and I was very not happy about spending that much money, but it wasn't as much as you think. So I got a really
Mhm.
good, and we're going to go over there. We're going to stay a little extra and
Right.
go down to the West
That's what I'm
Coast and
saying.
go.
You might as well extend the time
We
as
will.
long as I mean, if you can.
Yeah. Well,
Uh, my.
there's this meme out there, and I texted to Bethany, and everybody's seen it probably. There's that older couple coming out of that gondola ride in Venice, and you got the guy rowing the gondolas there. He's sitting on the end of it with his hand in his like this, with a big smile on his face. And this is a real picture. And the older couple, they're both sound asleep, you know. And the caption is, "Don't wait till you retire to travel," because these folks were
Mm-hmm.
sound asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, it gets to you. Angie and I, when we toured the Alamo, again, great. We was there a couple hours, obviously, walked around, but it was like 103, 102. It was hot, and we thought, well, we're going to have dinner pretty soon. Let's get back to the room and cool down and maybe clean up a little bit. And we both fell asleep like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So we both took naps. So yeah,
Well, getting a full belly after being outside and hot. Yeah, that's a recipe for a nap. The only thing you're missing
yeah,
is the dog up there. You got to have a.
I know. So
If your dog's not large enough to use as a pillow, your dog's too small. So,
yeah, yeah, we didn't have any dogs, but there were a lot of them there. But I tell you,
yeah.
and we were impressed. We didn't see too many homeless folks. We saw a few, but
Mm-hmm.
not many. I mean, it's the first
Mm-hmm.
time I wasn't asked. I was not asked for a dime from anybody, but
Hmm.
we saw them, and the city is pretty active on trying to help them first of all, but also keep them out of the heat and to
Mm-hmm.
keep them off the streets. So
Mm-hmm.
we saw one pretty lousy scene, but that was about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I was rather struck by the picture of the steak.
Oh, that was
You're
great.
well, but Dale, you were in Texas, and these
Yeah.
steaks were like this big.
Oh, yeah.
They look like
That was,
hamburgers. It's like,
that was
wait a
it
minute,
was
a Texas steak should be falling off the edge of the plate, shouldn't it? Be
that was 18 ounces. It was pretty good.
18 out. That thing must have been
Yeah,
thicker than it looked.
it was very thick, but yeah, I didn't want a great big one because you don't eat it, you don't finish it. So, but
Oh,
it
I
was
will.
excellent. No,
I'll eat it if
um,
it makes me puke. I'll eat it.
no,
I'm not gonna
and
waste
then
it.
Angie had a blackened prime rib, and
Oh, I can't. I saw a prime rib at the grocery store the other day, a rack, two hundred
yeah,
and eighty something dollars.
it was
But I thought to myself, first of all, that ain't going to happen.
yeah.
But I tried to remember the last time I've had prime rib, and I can't. Man, it's been years and
Yeah.
years and years.
That's
I,
her favorite. It's my maybe eighth or ninth favorite. I'm not a
now,
big prime rib guy, but
now,
she
does
likes it.
she put raw horseradish on it like you're
No,
supposed to?
she just got blackened on that one. So she likes
Oh,
horseradish. So, but the blackened, it was really good.
Yeah.
Blackened was good.
When I would get prime rib back when I could afford it, they'd send you out that horseradish sauce.
Yeah.
I'd send it back, say, no, I want horseradish. Not horseradish diluted with other stuff. I just want the raw horse. And man, you'd breathe that stuff in.
Yeah.
It's better than Vicks Vapor Rub. It works good. Nobody out there.
But we ate well. And
I know you did.
We had a good time. So.
The ice cream looked good.
Yeah, it was awesome. Everything there was great.
That was big. That was big.
Didn't have any bad experience there. So.
I know. Well, Dale, before we leave, I got to commend you. I have been fascinated, or I have been observing with some interest the various people who have taken the "My God is bigger than that" challenge. Well, you were traveling at the time, but you got back. Dale, you are the man. You are so talented.
Well, I got to send Michelle a bill for that. So, well, it's off to a good start. Her book's off to a good start.
Yeah, folks. If you don't know, you need to learn. Michelle and
Eva
Marie did a book together called "My God is Bigger Than That." Yeah. And when I saw the first one, I almost messaged Michelle saying, well, do you have to be on the book launch team to do this? Because I'd like to do one. I love the idea. Hey, do a video of all things, but the others, you could tell that they were, they had kind of, rehearsed it a little bit. But when I saw yours, I said, that's just Dale.
I wish I had a rehearsed. I was in a hotel room somewhere. I don't even know where I was at. But I did something like that years ago for my first book launch for Buckeye Believer. I was at the Florida conference, and I went around to folks and said, hey, just give me 30 seconds, say who you are. I'm looking forward to Buckeye Believer coming out. Mm-hmm. And I posted those every day. Michelle's was tough because she's an IU fan. They got a great football team, right? Mm-hmm. And so she was a little, and then Kyle, obviously, he's a Michigan guy, and he goes, but he did one, and so I started doing that, and then it kind of caught on, which is great because it is effective. I got Eva Marie to do one, and everybody, and it's fun doing that, and so I ought to get a trademark for that or something, but yeah, that's awesome. We're looking forward to that book doing really well, and I was honored that Michelle asked me to do that. So.
Now, there's so many books coming out, and you yourself have had so many out. I'm almost finished with Sports Shorts. It's 52 chapters. I believe I'm on 49. And I kind of alternate between that and Michelle's previous book, Springtime for Your Spirit.
Yeah.
So I take turns. I do one, then do the other on alternate days. Right. But you've got what is your next book coming out? Is it the Florida State?
Yeah, so those two will be out this fall. I don't have a date yet. Don't really have a date, but we had a little production issue that's been taken care of. So
skirmish with the production team. Okay.
Nah, just a little confusion, which happens. So it'll be this fall. The Florida State devotional and the Florida devotional. Those two will be out this fall.
Because you were thinking at one point August, I think.
Well, yeah, we initially, hopefully, but it'll be during the season.
Well, the rivalry games are the last week of the season,
right?
So you kind of got a reprieve there a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. So we're not worried about it because we know it'll come out. So those two will be out. Bethany, Jed, and Andy, we did the Florida State one together, and I did the Florida one.
Who's coaching at Florida now? Do you know?
I don't know. I've been so out.
Don't they have? I know Florida State effectively has a new coach.
Yeah.
He's been there a while, but he hasn't played a regular season game.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to those two coming out, and we're getting ready to start another one. And Michelle and I have a book that Kyle's pitching that we hope lands somewhere. So a lot of things going on. It's good to take a little break, but getting back into it. We got the CPE coming up in August in Lexington, Kentucky, here real soon, actually. And
do they have it there every year? I thought they had it in New York or something.
No, the Christian Product Expo rotates cities. New York was the book expo, and it's no more.
Okay.
It's no more. and we've been to that a few times. But the Christian Product Expo, it's twice a year. Um, it's been up in the Poconos. It's been to Charlotte. It's been in St. Louis last year. This
Hmm.
one,
I remember that.
yeah, and then so this one will be in Lexington, Kentucky, and we'll be there. It's a good venue for our Kentucky Passion book. So because
Hmm.
it's Lexington, Kentucky, so we'll be there with that book, and should have a good time doing some signings there.
And you've got your work woven in there. I better
Yeah,
use, you know,
and that's
with
going
all the.
great, man. It's probably the funnest job, second funnest job I've ever had, and I enjoy it. I'll probably just do this till I retire, and then we have really soon, high school football starts, and then the NFL, the Bengals start, and looking forward to all that stuff. So it's going to be a crazy few months, like it always is, but it's always fun. So
Yeah.
we got
Folks,
geared
if you
up.
want to know what Dell's life is like, go to your kitchen and use your blender. Okay, and when you see
Really,
that stuff going up to the top and swirling its
I
way,
know.
that's kind of Dell's life. But you handle it so gracefully, and I think you actually like it. To tell you the
I,
truth, yeah,
I'd rather do that than be bored. But
yeah.
I've lightened, like I said, I've lightened some loads, and which has been very helpful, and
Hmm.
started to say no to people, and I don't like doing that, but I have to sometimes.
Well, you might have you needed to throw some stuff overboard, probably. I mean, it just you add it incrementally and you don't realize it until all of a
I
sudden
know,
it's the ship's sinking and
I
you throw
know.
it overboard. But
But
I think you made
that,
the right call. And
yeah,
gosh,
Mark, I think you and your wife ought to go to Italy with us and join in the festivities. There, we'll have a good time.
well, as I said, I have been back when I had money. Um, but we don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. But
Exactly.
if the opportunity were to present itself to go to the Olympics in France on
Hmm.
some sort of work assignment,
There you go.
I would welcome that, and my
We're,
wife
we're
would too.
that's still on the books.
Still on
It's
the
in 2
radar.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it,
we're still signed up to go, so
yeah,
we haven't talked to them for a few
yeah.
months, but
I'll have to
we'll
get
have
a
a meeting.
passport if the government will issue me one.
I got mine. So
Yeah, well,
yeah, that'll
well,
be fun. France for 3 weeks.
yeah, that would be worthwhile. But Dell, I realize and I appreciate so much that you threw a lot of things overboard, and you certainly, but PJNet is still part of your
Oh
life,
yeah,
and you're
love it.
part of ours, and we are just grateful because you are busy, Dale. It's not like you don't have anything to do, and we've had to catch you on the road. We remember that night you called from the what is it, the Morton Steakhouse in New
Oh
York,
yeah, New
or
York.
something.
That was fun. Kyle
Yeah,
and Michelle jumped on, and we had a good time.
that was good times. Dale, we love you, brother. Thank you for sharing with us tonight. Can't wait to hear what you've got. That'll be the first Tuesday of next month, whatever date that is.
Whatever that is, I'll figure it
Whatever
out
that
the
is.
day
We'll figure
before.
it out. You'll probably be busy then too, but
No,
you always make time. Dale, we love you. Thank you so much for
thanks.
sharing with us tonight. Dale Didway. Is that an interesting guy or what? Is he living the dream? Yeah. Well, we all are, to tell you the truth. We just don't think of it right sometimes. We don't. We need to fix our attitude sometimes. Um, that winds it up for me tonight. Gosh, we got so much stuff going on here at pjnet.tv, and we're glad that you've made us a part of your life. And we hope that what we're doing here is an encouragement to you. We hope that what we're doing here is an inspiration for you to continue in your walk. And please get the word out if you know a Christian who has, if they're a Christian, they do have a story to tell. That's not the question. The question is, would you be willing to share with us? And if you do, please invite them to come join us and get in contact with myself or our producer, Miss Barbara, and we'll make the arrangements for that. All right, time for me to go. I've got more work to do until late in the evening, or early in the morning, I should say. And I leave you with this. I would like you to consider asking yourself 2 questions. First, what is the boldest thing that you've ever done for Jesus Christ? And second, when was that? And the goal is, or at least should be, to never be satisfied with either answer.